WhatsApps. I really like, and yeah, that's so I think it went well. I didn't stumble over anything, but I haven't tried that hard workout yet, so maybe I'd stumble over that.
I love it. So this
Yeah,
was what I heard, only positive.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not about getting all the stuff done, it's what happens along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, how do I
Yeah.
go about it? Do I freak out? Do I pick it up the next day? It's more that stuff because we're not in a regular week, we're not necessarily going to get everything done. It's more like, okay, what can I get done? And what can I celebrate? So I'm celebrating with you, girl. Let's do some
Thank you.
glitter, 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 glitter. That's awesome. And the running, I just have to ask. So how's that feeling now?
Um, it's okay. Like I'm still doing short distances. And you just kind of go out and do it. I mean, I'm not up to a lot of Ks yet, but because, as I said, because I kind of mentioned it, or Craig will mention it to someone. Last night I had someone say, okay, do you want to run together? Like, I want to get back into running too. So it is creating a bit of an energy buzz and stuff. And just around, I guess what I'm picking up is that lots of people want to do things that are movement oriented, and lots of people need a bit of, like, either a partner or like a reason. Like, it's not exciting to go for a run for no reason.
Is it?
That's well, I
Oh
mean,
my
you can, but like, if it's part of a bigger project, bigger initiative, like bigger, broader purpose, I think it's more exciting to do. Like, I told funny stories about the sprinting, where I had to do the 1 minute ons and 1 minute off. I said, so here we have, a mid-50s lady sprinting along Whitmore in the dark, -18 on ice, right? And but I did it because it was on my list. And that day, our temperature had gone from 0 to -18, like a big drop, right? It was a
In
huge
Waterloo?
drop.
In Waterloo?
Yeah, this was last week, but yeah. And
Okay.
it was because I dilly-dallied and didn't do it during, like, when it was nice out. There I was having to do it, and I was actually doing it and kind of like, this is so ridiculous. Like, imagine what I must look like trying to sprint, because I was never a fast runner anyway. So my version of fast will probably look painful to others, right? Oh, look at her. But I felt like my mom running behind our house on Halliwell Drive. She'd go for short jogs up to the end and back because she couldn't be gone long with 4 kids.
So this was what you just shared was the biggest win that I've
Yeah,
had.
yeah, yeah, for
And
sure, for
minus
sure.
18, you still did your run in the dark, like frig, that's what this stuff is about.
Yeah, and yesterday I hiked in the mud. Yeah, yeah, a lot of mud. I didn't fall in it. My friend did.
I love it. Oh, this
Yeah,
jacks me up. I got goosebumps.
yeah.
Oh,
So I'm
so
happy
good.
about all that. Yeah,
That's awesome. Erica, jump in, girl. Oh, you're muted.
you're muted.
I was thinking you probably didn't want to listen to me blow my nose over and over again. So I well, like, I have a daily hiking yoga routine in my life. So that sort of continues. Like Allison, I didn't do yesterday's because I have two positive things that occurred. One, my new tenant moved in, who I really like already, much better than the last one. And that period was put behind us. And two, a project I had with my stepdaughter for over a year. She asked me for money last year and to go on a trip. And in exchange, she was going to teach me how to sew. And we picked a sewing project. So I had this new sewing machine. But as life goes, it never got finished. And yesterday we spent 5 hours finishing the sewing project. So this is a little outside of the scope of this discussion, but it turned out to be a very positive day energetically.
Hey, girlfriend, that's not outside of this scope.
Well, just
Wow.
two positive things, right? I have this new bright and energetic and friendly artist who just moved in, and we have to only rent to artists. So sometimes it's a little challenging to negotiate the heavy creative people. And also I have two stepchildren who both are artists, and there's a lot more drama involved in raising two artists, and so on and so forth. So anyways, that was good. And like Allison, I'm gonna go to my yoga class, and then this afternoon is my long hike. So I'm looking forward to that because sunny out, and it's Sunday. So you, like you said, you feel like going on extra long hikes you have a lot of time for. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, congratulations on that. Two big things yesterday. Like, because it's all, I mean, how do you feel after that? Two big things in one day.
Well, I felt good. Like I felt like I ended the day like also with positive human interaction, and um just having a total bonding. Like I have stepchildren, and it's complicated stepchildren, it's step parenting, and they both called me and both reached out to me yesterday and wanted to do things with me, and I was like because it's like that's a very inconsistent thing in my life. So anyways, now she wants to go to yoga with me this morning, so
Love
which
it.
will be interesting because she never does yoga, but she's
I
gonna
love
go.
it. Sisters, so we got some positive vibes and juices moving. So let's stay with those. We're going to amplify those, and just play with me for a minute here. And we're just going to go inside literally for like 2 minutes. We're going to leave the land of talking about things and just drop into your body. So let's take 3 big grounding breaths. So you can stand or sit, and you can, if you feel you need to shake off, you can shake off. Whatever you want to do, shake off. Sometimes we need to shake. And then, so noticing the ground. So if you're sitting or standing, just noticing the ground underneath you. Take 3 deep breaths in, full breath through the nose. Pull that breath down to the base of your belly, down into your roots. As you exhale, take a long exhale. Do 2 more of those. And just fully grounding, and we're coming out of the head and into your body. 1 more grounding breath. So as you're swimming deliciously in that, in the good feelings from this week, from yesterday, just come back to your vision of what you want to do with this, of why you started this, of where you want to go with this. Just the vision, what your intention, your original intention. And not just the vision of it, but just go to the feeling of it. So the feeling of that self-confidence, the feeling of that vitality, that fitness on the mountain. And just go to where that is in your body. Because we always want something because of the feeling of it. Not because it just looks sexy. We think it's going to give us a certain feeling. So you can have that feeling anytime. In a yoga class, when you wake up in the morning, when you're having your coffee in the morning, going for a walk, and you want to visit that feeling and amplify it as much as possible. So connecting to that feeling in your body, connect to that vision. Maybe it's been revamped as you've been doing this for a few weeks. Maybe it's something different. Going into these next, let's say, 3 weeks. What is your vision in the next 3 weeks from from where you sit now? How do you see yourself moving forward? Like what would excite you? What would make this more fun? So feel that, and if you can find a way any time of the day just to tap into that feeling, because the better you feel, the more you're going to want to do, the more you're going to want to play in it. So with that feeling and with that vision, that new vision that you saw, you felt, you can slowly come back. So Allison, what's coming for this week for you? What vision do you have going forward for you? What does it look like?
I'm not sure if this is the vision, but I think the element is to just be more orderly about this aspect of my life. I want to progress from fitting it in to planning it in. And that's been a slow transition that we're working on with small little pebbles, but we're getting toward it. And so that's what I'd like to do, so that it can be like, so that I can own it more, right? Like, oh, Allie's doing great, she's running again. I don't really believe that yet, right? I'm running again because I ran a few times, right? No, like I will feel it when it's really part of what I do and who I am. And it was at one time, right? Like that it was true back then. And I want to make it true and real to myself again. And I might try pickleball.
I love your sense of humor.
Yeah.
Oh, I might try some pickleball too.
Yeah.
So how do you see that? I love that. Owning it, planning it in. How do you see that? So what's one thing from that you can do this week that's maybe different to all the other weeks? That would
Scheduling for sure.
What does that look like for you? How does that look like, scheduling?
Very literal. Like just kind of taking a look at what the other items on my agenda, and calendaring, scheduling, because I do keep a lot of information in my head, and like I don't write down appointments, I don't write down meetings, I just remember them mostly, right? So I don't use the calendar, and so I can do that, but that also allows everything to remain relatively fluid. Like, so I want to put a little bit more structure around when I'm doing certain things like this.
Okay. So what does that look, when you say scheduling, what would that look like this week? How would this week be different than last week as far as scheduling?
Just to go from reactionary to action oriented, right? I do things like, I'm not going to forget things, I will do them, right? But it's I just keep all the balls in my head, and then so thus all the balls have the same priority. But I want to adjust it so that some are more heavily weighted. It's sort of like finite math, probabilities. And so I just want to make sure that this gets in, and everything else has to be looked after. I do have kind of like a lot of time consuming things that I do in a day. And so just compartmentalizing those so that they're not all happening at the same time.
So how do you schedule it? Are you writing it in somewhere? Are you putting in your phone?
It's not done yet. not done yet, Carrie. It's a mission for the week. You'll have to ask me next week how I did it.
Oh, okay, so this is the thing, actually scheduling it. Okay,
Yeah.
got it, nailed it. I love it. One action-oriented thing new every week is awesome. Not more than one.
Okay, good. That's it, because that's gonna be enough for me.
Perfect. I love
Okay,
it.
so pickleball is totally on hold.
I just have to ask, you really want to play pickleball?
Oh, I just, no, like I do want to know how to play it, but it's not urgent.
Okay, so it's a different ball. There's
And a
big
different racket. I've actually never even seen it played, and I kind of want to play tennis again. Like I play tennis, but I haven't played tennis in Northfield. The club burned down, and
Yeah.
so they're rebuilding it. Blah blah blah. Right. So I kind of like I want to just get that into my future. So by planting small seeds now, so that when when it reopens, or if I can join Waterloo or whatever, that I could play either. It's activity. Pickleball you can do when you're old. You can also do tennis when you're old.
You can also climb mountains when you're old.
That's true. That's true. I might not even need pickleball. Because I might be your assistant guide by then.
Ooh,
Giggling in the back with Erica.
just a second. Did you know this is being recorded?
Right.
And written. Awesome. Love it. Tangible. Can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah.
Erica.
Erica. So the funny thing is I'm a good scheduler because I had a corporate job for like 25 years. So your life ran on these calendars. And I was very used to like blocking time between meetings and so on and so forth. So I have things like I put a lot of things in my life. It's always in my calendar, like what I do for work and what I do for volunteer and so on and so forth. The big thing I've noticed I have had to do is choose what I'm going to stop doing. And so because, like I told you, I had yoga and hiking as part of my ritualistic life. So I had two things. I was doing a pottery class in the fall, and I for the last, year or so, or year and a half, I've had a membership at my yoga studio. So a monthly recurring, and I stopped it. And I actually you can buy 5 class or 10 class passes that you can use, and you have so long to use them. So I switched to that so that I could focus more on the things you were sending to us, because I was finding like to do my yoga every day and then to do your classes every day, and hiking, I couldn't afford that with my time. So I just made that transition a couple of weeks ago. And sort of, and also I wanted to focus more on sequencing because I didn't get a lot of sequencing training in my 200-hour. Like you're learning all the asanas and you're learning the yoga history, and so you get, it's such a broad, and you spend so little. I felt I spent very little time on learning sequencing, and they want us to start teaching like a community class. Like they want all the students that graduated last year to start teaching in the community class. And I felt like I'm not comfortable. Like I don't have enough sequencing training. So what I did is I commit to doing 2 classes with the studio that I go to, and I do one private with one of my teachers focused more on sequencing. And that gives me time to focus more on the things you send us. Also, because of the issues I was having with balance and the arthritis in my feet, my foot doctor gave me a referral to a physiotherapist. And I actually decided to wait to do that because, again, like it's another 2 hours of your day. And I just was like, we're doing things focused on feet and balance and so forth. And I'm also doing that in yoga.
Yeah.
And then I decided to wait until the next term to do another pottery class. Because I'm like, so I think I had told you, and Allison also, I was on this 2 themes this year. 2 of the themes for me this year have been habit formation and communication. So I have like 5 books in each subject that I'm reading. And one of the things that came really clear in the habit formation is you have to choose what you're giving up. Like you can't do everything you were doing before and create new habits. And this in my life has been a theme that haven't been successful at. I've just stacked, right? Like do more and more and more and more, and not actually perfect or develop quality habits because I have too much. So that's just something that I've been focusing on. Again, an aside, I've been really focusing on the quality of the people that I associate with. One of the books I read was like, you are a reflection of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And for several years, I've been spending time with someone who is extraordinarily negative and extraordinarily angry and very blame and shame and negative. And like last summer, I exited them from my life, and it was like painful at first because it's a person that you're familiar with and it's a relationship. But I realized I couldn't have them in my life anymore because it's everything that I didn't want in my life for me either. Like I don't want to be that. So I focus a lot now on the people that I choose to spend my time with and how I present myself to be more positive and be more engaging and be less negative. So those are just, things that I'm focusing on.
You guys are blowing me away today, you know that?
Yeah, we're in a different space this week. Last
Like
week, it seems.
that is like powerful shit we're talking about. Like just those things that you're saying, like about the 5 people, that's a big one. And the fact that you did it with one person is huge. Like before we even started doing this, right? And it's interesting how you're both coming at it from different angles. You're kind of stopping doing things, and Allison's trying to put more like schedule the right things, and you're trying to deschedule things.
Well, deschedule to schedule, right?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I get
I just realized like I was like doing your things, but then I wasn't focused on all the other opportunities you were putting in front of us, right? Because I had 10 other things. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to get the best out of this program with you. And frankly, it's a good investment, like for me. And so I was like, if I'm going to get the best out of the program and get on the full program, you have to take some things out. And like Allison said, I woke up this morning. It's so funny, Allison. I woke up this morning saying, I really want to play tennis again, but I can't right now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's not the focus right now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's it. And that's it. That is the
Hi, mother-in-law.
Hi, Mama.
Yeah.
Brauchst du?
Yes, Guten Tag, Mutti.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you don't come back to that. It's just, what am I putting on the shelf? Right? And I look at it like this. I was taught it like this. There are glass balls in our life and there are rubber balls. The glass balls are the ones are precious, that are the most important things that you don't want to drop, right? That you're protecting. It's like that's for your boundaries. What are my glass balls right now? Okay, well, maybe sometimes it changes. Maybe it's your health, or maybe it's this training. I want to go to a certain level. That's a glass ball for me now. And these other things are like rubber balls. They'll bounce back. They'll come back. I'll throw it down. It's going to come back at some point. But you have like a couple glass ones at one time, right? Focus, where it's like, no, I got to protect this baby, right? This is my thing. I'm not dropping her, or, right? And I think the balls can change. So I love how you brought up balls, Allison. And that's huge, knowing what to let go. Knowing it's not about, okay, just what I want. Okay, I got my eye on what I want, but what's kind of tethering me back? Okay, it's like these 10 things I'm doing over here. And to actually know what they are and let them go is huge. Then you're freer, and then you can be open to what's there. And it's not about, it's the journey along the way where you guys are going to get the most of it. It's just like hiking. It's not about hitting the 3,000-meter peak, although it's cool and it's a great picture and it's a great accomplishment. It's everything. It's all that stuff. I mean, we hear that all the time. It's all the stuff in between. It's the same thing for this training, 16-week training. It's not that we're getting to the end of the training. It's all this other stuff coming up in between. All these other things, these things that piss you off. And what do I need to do? I got too much going on. These things that you figure out on your own along the way. And then you realize, okay, I can do that. I can do that on my own after this. I can figure that out, you know? That's the thing.
It's, I saw a post, because I'm into running, so, you know, I'm thinking about it, so it's showing up a lot in my social media, and I guess it's always been there, right? And, one of the great things I saw in the last week, and I remember feeling this when I ran marathons, you know, when you're running it, you're like, of course I can, like, there's no question on that day that you can do this. You've trained for this, right? And but it said in the post, like, the marathon was this. This is the marathon. Like, this is the I don't know what's it called when you climb a mountain, the ascent. And when we get there, that's like the celebration, right? When we actually are doing it, that's going to be the celebration. This is the labor. This is like, we are prepping so that when we get there, like, it's going to be what we are. We're going to own it, right? Like,
you're gonna own it, enjoy it. You're gonna drink espresso, red wine.
Yeah.
Have the Italian cuisine.
We'll be ready to drink up everything, from the food to the accommodation to the little, everyone getting their own little duvet to you know, to, you know, seeing like beautiful sights, and climbing something super steep and then coming down, and like we'll be able to handle all of it in the yoga, blah blah blah, and handle it and just enjoy it, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
And some things along the way kind of look, okay, monotonous, or okay, I'm doing that, I'm doing it indoors. But then you will notice it when you get outdoors.
Yeah.
Like, you will. Like, today I was climbing a hill that was like a tiny little hill in a park, and I just did repeats, and I'm like, okay, you can train for mountains with this little hill, because it's my intention. I'm going to run this hill 10 times. And the body takes that and puts it in the mountains. It seems like, okay, how can I train if I don't have it? You can totally train for mountains without mountains.
Right.
Because it's the mental, it's the deciding to go and do that will get you to the mountains. It's not, okay, did I do 5 or 10? It's more that you did it. It's the same thing with this training. You get the program, but it's like, okay, what did I learn in that week following the program? Well, I didn't get this and this done. Okay, well, how did I react to that? Oh, well, I did this instead. Okay. Because there's not like, this is the exact way to do it, or that's the exact way. That's why we're tweaking it a lot, right? And you'll find the flow that feels the best. But the main things are our 2 workouts and the long one, you know, on the weekend, and everything else you put in between, the mobility and all that is also important, right? And gradually upping our intensity, gradually Maybe we have to back off a bit and then, okay, add a little bit more, right? So that's, I mean, this is exciting stuff what you're talking about. So Erica, what would you commit to this week? In line
so
with
I
what
have-
we're talking about.
Yeah, so I have a new challenge this week.
Mhm.
Thursday, I leave to travel for 3 weeks. So
Okay.
this is gonna be the first time that I'm traveling while we're doing this.
Mhm.
The first, um. The first. Like 5 days. I will be Pacific Standard Time, so 1 hour earlier. So
Mhm.
with the exception of Thursday, because I will be on a plane,
Yeah.
I won't be, Thursday I'll have to do later in the day.
Mhm.
But then the other, like Sunday and Tuesday, I can do just an hour earlier where I'll be. But then, I will then be an hour ahead of you.
Of me.
Starting, yeah. I'm going to Saudi Arabia. I'm going to Mexico, California, then Saudi Arabia, and I'll be an hour ahead of you. So, I'm hoping that I will then just be able to do it right from there, but I will be in closer to your time zone.
Like from a hotel room, you're gonna do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
Well,
like,
and there's actually also where I am in Saudi, there's a gym. Yeah. There's a women's gym and a men's gym.
but
So,
would you be able to bring the computer to the gym
yeah,
and then the computer and you follow us while you're at the gym?
yeah.
Ah, okay, you can have that private space.
There's
Okay,
almost never anybody in the gym when I'm in the gym,
perfect.
ever, when I'm there. So,
Okay.
but anyway, so this is my new challenge that I'm preparing for because, up until now, I've just been working from home. So that's what I'm sort of planning and working towards, and I will obviously let you know when I can be on or not on, but I will be able to do the workouts. Sometimes just not with the two of you, just I'll have to do it afterwards.
Well,
Okay.
and like, if it works for you and Carrie, I can be flexible on the time, like, if it works for the two of you.
Well, no, I don't
So-
want it. I don't want you guys to have to change your schedule. Like,
It's gonna be tough for me to be, I can't, those 2 days I can't change because I've got something after both. But you can still we'll still do the workout, and if you can't be on it, we'll just send you the workout right after.
right. So this is like, you know, in part of this whole life transition of mine, I sort of made an agreement with myself that I would just travel like, 3 to 4 times a year like this. So this is my second 3 week. My last one was
Yeah.
in October. And that's because right now my clients are abroad, right? And so I'm just doing it in a whirlwind. I'm going to visit 3 of them, like in a. So anyways, that's going to be my challenge this week. And I'm going to try for the first time. Every time I've gone there, I sort of stay at this compound and work at this compound. But a lot of the people that are there on the weekends, they go to the Red Sea and they go have picnics and go hiking and so forth. So I'm going to try it for the first time. I just haven't done it yet.
With a
So-
group, like with a group.
I don't know, there's just a lot of people go hiking on the weekends. It's just that,
I love it.
so.
Amazing. So this to me is like an adventure. It doesn't seem like a challenge. It seems like perfect it's like an opportunity.
Well, like, I have to tell you, because I spent like 25 years of my life, like practically on the road. And so it makes me feel sick a little bit at the same time.
Okay.
Because part of my challenge in life was that I was always in a restaurant. I was always exhausted. I never got 8 hours of sleep for years and years and years, right? And so now, since COVID, it's been like this opposite thing, and which is what has allowed me to have hiking and yoga consistently in my life, right? And so when we talk about habit formation, like habit formation in my life changed a lot because I could control more of my time and I didn't have all these distractions. So this is sort of always a test when I go traveling now. Do I get the exercise that I get at home? Do I eat like more like I would eat at home, right? So in that regard, it's sort of a challenge, but it's also an opportunity to see if I can retain the habits.
Beautiful. And I believe you will in your own way, like, because you're going there consciously with this in your mind. You're not going and letting it just kind of roll out. You're
Right.
like how it rolls out. You're going knowing this, fully aware of the situation you're going in. That's different than just kind of letting it fly. And knowing that, because that's a big word, feeling sick about it. Knowing that that's a pretty strong emotion. So if you do feel sick about it, even when you're there, just kind of be with that. And allow yourself to just feel that and just practice trusting. Because I know it's probably triggering stuff from the past, that feeling.
Oh, I get
Well,
to the airport.
it made her sick. It made her sick. She was like her feet and legs were fully inflamed from plane rides and air and restaurant food and whatever. Are you good? You should wear compression socks.
Wow. Okay. So this is, I mean, we say words for a reason. So literally, that's big, big stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I love that you also said this is an opportunity.
Well, because when I went before, I exercised. I went to that. Why I know there's an all women's gym is I just went there every day, and it was nothing nice about it, and it had it has some machinery and whatever, right? Equipment, pardon me.
Yeah.
And I just made myself go there every day, sometimes twice a day, to keep my rhythm up from at home, right?
Mhm.
And frankly, I'm thrilled because there's no alcohol allowed there in the country. Right?
Ah,
So you don't drink, right? So I just was like, I did it. I ate healthy, I exercised every day, and I didn't drink because I couldn't anyways, right? So I just was like, I could do it. I could, not that I want that I don't want that as a constant in my life anymore, but I did travel for work and I didn't do it like I used to. Yeah.
that's a great thing to hang on to, knowing that you already did, right? So you said a lot there, but what is one tangible thing just for this week? Just focusing on the first week you're away that you will commit to for you.
Well, to do everything on the schedule,
Yeah.
my primary thing, right? Drinking lots of water.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
And I have one last thing I wanted, because you said your big thing, habit forming and communication was the other. Tell me more about what's the communication thing about? These two.
Well, I don't think it's my greatest strength. I think I'm a bit of a stonewaller. When things are uncomfortable for me, I stop talking and communicating with people. Um, and I think that, sorry, someone's calling me, so it made you guys disappear. And I think that I ended up with a really like I was super gaslit in my last job, like super gaslit, and I just shut down and I stopped communicating because I saw where it was going, but I didn't do anything about trying to change it. I totally stopped talking and waited for the end. So I'm just exploring that.
Yeah, I think when when we are triggered in any way, or there's some traumatic event, whether it's small or big, we react in one of three ways. We either fight back, or we flee, or we freeze. or shut down on the inside. And when we know how we react, right, is that's when we can begin to take care of it and find ways, and we can talk about it in another call, but find ways to upregulate ourselves. There's ways, if we're always boom, 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 high anxiety, there's ways to regulate, to come down. But if we find ourselves shutting off and turning things off, then there's a bunch of resources that you can go to that would work for you to bring yourself back up that ladder of when you notice, okay, I'm going there, what can I do instead to respond to that thing, those stressors? Okay, how do I upregulate? Some people may take a ice cold bath, or those are just like there's a whole bunch of things you can do. But I think the number one is just noticing when that comes up, what do I do? Oh, well, I shut down. You already noticed that. And then the next step is noticing that, and okay, what are my resources to go to when I notice that happening? Right? When I notice some people are hypervigilant when something comes up that triggers that response. And then some people go to the hypervigilant side, like worrying, high. But you tend to shut or close off, like communication. And that's something else that you can begin to change with resourcefulness of, just noticing yourself when it happens. And then there's
I think I react too quickly, and that's part of what I've been trying to slow down for a few years. Which is, yeah. So just trying to take it in and not respond, and also not react to other people's anger and drama.
The body knows all. The body keeps the score.
I read that. That was an incredible book.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's true. It sometimes something's happening in here. I'm like, why the hell am I reacting like that? Like, it's out of sorts from the situation. It's because it's reacting to a memory or something that happened before in the same way it did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's noticing that and having resources. There's a whole bunch here. We can talk about at one point to when you catch it, okay, I can do this, right? Because the body reacts so fast. And it's not about saying, okay, why did I do that? Here I go again. It's more, okay, there I go, getting angry again or whatever. And it's just having a different way to respond to it. Oh, totally. And then you're owning it. Then you're in control. Right. But my ladies, this was wonderful. So thank you for sharing all you did. And so this week coming up, there's just all you're going to get is one sheet sent on WhatsApp. And on that sheet are all the links to everything. So YouTube links, even the Zoom link. I know you don't need that because you know the Zoom link, but it'll all be in WhatsApp on that sheet. Okay. The videos you need to see is all, you just click on the PDF or you copy the link and put it in your browser. And that's it. So you don't have to search for anything. So it's all there. And then more videos like mobility stuff. Those are the things I'm going to be adding in more. And then the strength stuff will change like in a week or so. There'll be a different one. Cool?
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you, ladies.
Okay, thank you.
See you on Tuesday. But you're already gone Tuesday, Erica? You're already gone.
Oh,
Thursday. Okay. Beautiful. So I'll see you all. I'll see you both on Tuesday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Glitter, glitter, glitter. Hey, celebration. Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you, bye.